Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, Melisha. Hi, Marin. Z is here. Everyone's here. Hi, everyone. How are we doing? Jen is here. Trish is today. You guys got to go check it out. She's looking so cute in her Stanwyck skirt with the bib and the Mickey fabric with a little Hepburn top with a bow. So cute. It's her Charm Camper uniform, so you have to go check it out. You guys are, what are you guys working on? What you guys working on? So hi, cheers. Cheers. I'm having seltzer today. Hi, Erica. Hi, Tuvza. Tuvza, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Reagan's here. Hello, hello. So how are we all doing? How are we doing? The connection's fuzzy. Uh-oh. I don't know. Everything looks good on my end. How's everyone doing with their connection? You guys working on your Harlow pajamas? Harlow PJs. Oh my gosh, you guys are right on it. I love it. Okay. Okay. You love this project? So sort of. Norwegian nicknames are so hard in English. All right. I'm sorry. I did my best. Tuvza. So it's fuzzy. All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep talking. You guys are loving the Harlow pajamas. I'm so excited. I can't believe they're out. Melisha, can you believe they're out? This project we've been talking about for, it's a fuzzy picture. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything I can do, guys, because everything looks fine on my end. I can adjust this a little bit and hopefully it will refocus. How's that? My light adjusted. Alicia, you can't believe it. I know. Hi, Jen. Oh my gosh. I was just thinking about you, Jen. I was like, we haven't seen her in forever. Glad you're back. Very pixelated. I do look fuzzy. It's pixelated, not the focus. Fuzzy, but you can hear me? All right. Well, you think it's YouTube? Listen to the fan. Welcome to my podcast, everyone. Welcome. I'm a podcaster now. I was actually just listening to a podcast about RuPaul's Drag Race because I knew we'd probably talk about it today. And you guys know I have no short-term memory. So I was like, what happened? And I was like, oh, podcasts. These are fun. I look awesome. I was thinking about you, Jen, because I was like, oh, we haven't seen her in a while. And anytime someone's a regular and then doesn't show up for a while, I'm like, I hope she's okay. Yeah, you're part of the gang. All right. Well, sorry guys. This is just the reality of YouTube these days. So, all right. It just got a lot better. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna launch into my topic, which is the Harlow pajamas. And if you're on Patreon and you saw my post today, I am doing a crowdcast tomorrow as well, which will be about the inspiration for the Harlow pajamas and the Loretta shorts. And that's more of like the behind the scenes kind of process. Like I can share photos with you, which I really like to do. I'll be sharing a PowerPoint presentation, which I'll be making tomorrow because you guys know that I always cram on my PowerPoint presentations day of, and you always love them. So don't worry. It's going to be fabulous. So tomorrow I'm going to show you that, and I'm just going to share a bunch of pictures because when we were working on this project, I really had so many vintage inspiration photos, and I just have to share them with you guys because they're so, in the world of loungewear in this era, the 30s especially, there's just so much great inspiration. So I can't wait to share that with you. But today what I'm going to be talking about more is just like how this project came about and what it is. And yeah, that's it. So this project is like a quarantine coronavirus special. That's the only way I can describe it, because as you guys know, I have been doing these live streams since the beginning of quarantine for us, which was March 13th. Not that I'm counting the days, but that was when I started doing these live streams. And right around that time, B&J contacted me and asked, to have a phone call and talk about ways that we could collaborate and come up with a project, or projects or content or something, ways we could work together. I'll put it that way. Ways we could work together, because their store was going to be closed, and it's still closed. And they wanted to think about ways to reach home sewers more, because it was all going to be online shopping now. And I'll just say they've always been great about working with home sewers. I've been working with B&J on my books about home sewing for 10 years now, and they've always been super supportive. So this isn't, as I say that, I feel like it comes across as like, oh, now they're suddenly interested in home sewing. That is not what I'm saying at all. They have been so engaged with this community from way back. But once the quarantine started, they realized, online shopping was the only way, people are going to be shopping at their store. So they wanted to work with me in some way, work with Charm Patterns, work with us on the Patreon to find a way to reach home sewers more during this time, which I, of course, loved. So one of the ways they suggested was sponsoring a free pattern. And I have never done a free pattern in my life, guys. I mean, maybe like back when I worked with Joann's, we would do like free tutorials or stuff like that. But like a graded charm pattern, I've always wanted to do something that would be sort of like an entree on the specials menu. This would be the little amuse-bouche. You guys got to help me come up with more restaurant puns as we go on. A little amuse-bouche for those who wanted to try charm patterns, or who were just sort of dipping their toes in the water, and wanted to try something out, but were, a free pattern would obviously entice them, right? But I mean, who has the money or the time to, I'm just gonna put my phone away because it's blinking at me. Who has the money or the time to create a free pattern like this in like 50 combined sizes and all that? So basically what happened was that they offered to cover some of the costs. And so they covered like the grading costs and some of the like, freelancer costs that we have to create a pattern like this. And that made a huge difference, obviously, for us, to be able to offer a free pattern. And I love the idea of doing something free, especially now when everyone is home sewing, getting out those sewing machines after, they've been gathering dust in a corner in the attic, and making it a beginner-friendly project. Now, beginner-friendly is really tough for me, because I kind of feel like anything worth sewing is like a little bit, it's not, I'm never, it's never going to be just a tote bag at Charm Patterns, so it's like, I was looking for something really simple, but really glamorous, that would showcase what we do, and our fit, I think, is another thing too. So that's when I came up with the idea for the Harlow pajamas. And I was thinking around that time, I was working on the rose dressing gown as well. And you guys know I wear, my old sweatpants with my rose dressing gown, and it just is not the fantasy. So, what are you going to wear underneath your rose dressing gown, or what are you going to wear when you're lounging at home? So this was all kind of a perfect storm of like quarantine and working with B&J and all of that. So yeah, so people are really, really sewing. Yeah, you're right. In like record numbers, sewing machines are sold out everywhere. So a great, like, simple project. So they came to me, and then Melisha, I think this project was finalized like within a day. Like it happened so quickly. I was looking at a lot of 30s inspired patterns. I found one that I will share with you tomorrow that was very similar to what you see here, sort of tunic top with a wide leg pant, a sash, and then the frogs at the neckline. And that was my main inspiration. And we went off of that. And yeah, like a day later, we had a pattern. And it was the fastest I think we've ever made anything happen in terms of the pattern making process. But then, as you guys know, I mean, it's taken me, like 2 months to get this out. The video and the instructions and the photos and all of that. So, I've been plugging away at it steadily, but, and you guys have been supporting me because, I had like a little meltdown the first time I tried to make that video, like my famous meltdown when I was like, I couldn't remember how to like teach beginners or something. I don't know what my problem was, but, it's been a process. So, yeah, so that's kind of the background behind the pajamas. The design I can show you a little bit more of. The top does come with our famous cup sizing. So A through H cup sizes. It does have like a French dart. I'm sorry you can't see anything on this. This is a navy rayon crepe from B&J. And it comes in like 50 different colors or something on the website. It has a great little crinkle texture to it. This is the pair I make in the video. So the video I'm talking about was there's a companion YouTube video to this free pattern that is an hour and 45 minutes long because I take you through like the cutting, all the supplies you need. Like it's really assuming you don't know a lot about sewing. So hopefully people will find that helpful. So, and this is the pair that I make in the video. So a few things I can tell you about the top is that it does have darts. It has the A through H cup sizing. Now, just like the Hepburn top, the cup sizes are grouped into 3 groups. So you'll have one top front for your A through C cup sizes, one for D through F, and then another one for G through H. So just cut the front that corresponds to your size, your cup size. There is a lot more ease in this pattern than anything we've done in a while, I think. It has about 8 to 10 inches of ease in the bust and 10 inches of ease in the hip. The top is very flowy and it has a pleat at center front here. And that's to kind of give the appearance of an opening. So it's like a faux opening. And then, the frogs are just decorative and hand sewn on. And then it has a little binding around the neckline, the sleeves. I mean, it's just like a little cap sleeve, but it's just turned in and hemmed. And then let's see, it has these little belt loops on the top and this sash. So the fun thing about this is there are a few different ways you can wear this. You can just wear the top like this. And this is probably, if I were going to bed, this is honestly how I would probably wear it because I don't really need to be, cinched for sleeping. And you can just, because there's the belt loops, you can just take that off. So you can wear it like that. You can tie it in the front like that. Or this is really fun. You can pull these ties to the back and tie it in a bow in the back, which is going to give you like a more form-fitting shape, which I really like for like, going out. Cinched for sleeping. Cinched for sleeping. That's me. So you could do this to like, go out or whatever. I don't know. Go grocery shopping, whatever you're doing. So this, I've always wanted a pajama pant that was like a true high waist. So that's what this is. It comes up all the way to the natural waist. It has a slightly dropped crotch for comfort, and then just like a super wide leg. So what else did I want to tell you? Oh, other inspiration was like beach pajamas. So many people on my first post said, these are pajamas? Like, couldn't you wear those out? And I'm like, yes, you can wear them out. So the other thing, I'm gonna give back cinch. Ooh, look at the fantasy silhouette. So yeah, these are beach pajama inspired, and you'll see that on the Crowdcast tomorrow. I did a lot of work with inspiration photos from beach pajama sets and patterns, and that's why I chose this cute little blue print on this one. I was like, it's so beachy, so beachy. And then you can take it in the opposite direction of like pure, you know, fantasy loungewear and silk charmeuse or whatever like that, something like that. I will say whatever you choose, it really is most flattering if it has a little bit of drape to it. So I personally would not do quilting cotton or any sort of cotton that has a lot of stiffness to it. The first version of these pants that I did in like a poplin with like a sort of very crisp hand. And when I tried the elastic, oh, this is elastic. Have I mentioned that? So these just fit to your waist size. It's adjustable, customizable. So when I put the elastic in, the pants kind of like puffed out at the waist, because the thing is, you need them to be elastic waist pants. Like these are like a straight up and down silhouette because they have to go over your hips, right? They have to stretch enough to go over your hips and have some ease for comfort, for sleeping, for lounging. And then you have to cinch them into your waist. You can't like do darts or all that stuff. I mean, unless you want to then add a zipper, but that's not what we're doing here. So, okay, now I want my sash from the front again. Sorry, this is an emergency. So what was I saying? Okay, so the first one I tried, it was like poofing out at the waist because the cotton had a sort of stiffer hand to it. And I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to like these pants. And then I tried it in rayon and cotton lawn, and I was like, oh, these are fine. Like, it's much more flattering if it's something with a little bit of a drape, because if it has like a stiff hand at all, it's just going to poof out at the gathers at the waist where it cinches from the elastic. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, it was a fashion emergency. So yeah, so that's my feeling. Just find something with drape. You know, cotton lawn is a great choice. Cotton batiste. Yeah, that's my recommendation. So so I'm just like reading your comments here, guys. Yeah, so that's it. That's the Harlow pajama. That's it, everyone. The pants are super simple to sew. So if you want to start with just one part of this project, I would say in the video I start with the pants because it's super easy. And if you're just getting back into sewing, I would say like just do the pants first. Elastic waist pants are like a great beginner project, right? So Trisha, the ones I just mentioned, cotton is what you're looking for, but like a lawn or a batiste or some sort of lightweight cotton with drape or a voile or something like that. Ooh, Marin, yeah, the yellow Carline would be so good. Yeah, and then you just need like a coordinating pant fabric. Ooh la la. Yeah. Sleeve extension is coming soon to Patreon. So you just hold tight, everyone. If you didn't see the sleeve, it is in the video. And it's a very dramatic batwing style sleeve. And I know you're going to love it. Yeah, the top could be a nice blouse for sure. What am I drinking today? It's not Coke Zero. Okay, guys. I'm drinking vintage seltzer. It's a raspberry flavored seltzer with other natural flavors. It's just a non-soda option. Yes, I made a dramatic sleeve. So unlike me. Flowy shirting for the pants and a lightweight gauze for the top. Those are two great choices. Jen says she's using a vintage 60s mod print rayon crepe for the bottoms and making several tops to change it up. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Silk pants. I have a yardage requirement question. I have lawn that's 58 wide. I'm making size 18 and I have 4 yards. If I get something else for the sash, should that be enough for the top and pants? Question for you. Did you look at the yardage requirements on the website? Because it does break it up into top, pants, and for the larger sizes, there was an error that we found. One error, guys, from over the weekend, which was that there was a weird thing with the cutting layouts, which is that if you're making, now I'm sorry, Nakia, because this doesn't actually relate to your question. I would tell you to just look at the yardage requirements because I don't know off the top of my head. And then what I'm getting at is that there was an error in the yardage requirements, which is now fixed. There's a weird thing that happened with these cutting layouts where if you're making a size 12 and up in 45-inch wide fabric, so with the pants, I wanted to group the pants and the sash and the belt loop together. Like that makes sense. You'd be making those in the same fabric. But when I went to do that in the larger sizes, in the narrower fabric, you needed like 5 yards just for the pants and the sash. And it was really super annoying. And I was like, I don't want people to think that they have to get 5 yards if they're not going to make the sash. In the smaller sizes, you could just like stack the sash on top of the pants. If you don't want to make it, you just take it off. It's the same amount of yardage. I'm getting way too into this. I know you guys don't care. But that's all to say, I broke it out just for that one size grouping and fabric width so that you could separately calculate the pants and the sash. So you didn't have to buy 5 yards of fabric just to make pants and a sash. But for some reason that there was some confusion with how that corresponded to the web page and to the charts. So it's fixed. It's fixed now. It's fixed now on the web page. Maren, that makes sense. You care? Okay. Yeah, I hate stuff like that. That's like, stuff like that is so annoying, guys. I have to tell you, like when I'm just like, you guys know I don't like doing cutting layouts as it is. And when I'm like, all right, I'm just going to bang these out today. It's just pajamas. How hard can it be? And then you get to like the larger size group on the 45-inch wide fabric. And you're like, I can't do it. Like, this doesn't work. And you have to like come up with a creative sort of solution. And I hope that works for you guys. But I wanted to be able to like, I don't like having to tell people like, you have to buy 5 yards of fabric just to make pants and a sash, because what if you have something at home and you only have 3 yards? You could just make the pants and then you make the sash in your top fabric, or just like get creative with it. So you know what I mean. So yeah, and belts and sashes are always so annoying because they're like so narrow and they take up like 2 yards of fabric. So yeah, you can do some creative stuff with seaming and all of that. Yeah. So, yeah. Ooh, the black rayon with the pink strawberries, Lily. That'll be so nice. That's one of my favorite fabrics I've ever designed. So I think I saw someone ask where you could get the pattern, and it's on the Charm Patterns site. Okay, so we did not ask anything of you. You just go and you download it. It's a zip file. It's totally free. all I ask is that you consider us in the future for your vintage pattern shopping needs. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Click like, click subscribe. You know what I mean. You guys already do. So yeah, cheers. Maren, you think you might buy some more? Yeah, I know the jury's still out for you. You're only here for the free stuff. Yeah, you guys are gonna be waiting a while if you want another free pattern. You're funny. Oh, you're welcome, Risa. Good to see you. How do you keep your frogs from freaking out when washed? I would suggest hand washing, or do delicate. I mean, that's what I would do for rayon anyway. So yeah, so I'm very excited we were able to do this. I mean, you guys know I've felt like since the beginning of coronavirus that now is a time to like give back if you can. And one way we did that was through releasing the L'Amour dress class for free. And this is just sort of an extension of that whole idea, is that, I think we're not really, I mean, at least in the US, we're not through, we're not through with the coronavirus. And the longer we all sort of continue this commitment to social distancing, then the better we're all going to be in the long run. So this is just sort of like a thank you to you all, and something to keep you busy while you're staying home. You survived quarantine, prize. I've been spoiling you. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, it's been like a very weird time with our workflow. I know Melisha would agree, because we were definitely in like a really good vibe / flow in the studio, and we had lots of things planned. And then this happened, and it's like, oh, sure, we'll do a free pajama pattern. Why not? And yeah, we're just kind of like, I think, trying to stay flexible about what we're doing. You can get the pattern on the Charm Patterns site, charmpatterns.com. Ah. Okay. Oh, the tropical poplin for Joanne's. Yeah, we were just pulling out the tropical rayon I did. I can't remember if it was for Joanne's or Spotlight. So we're going to be doing something fun with that. So yeah, so Patreon. So the first of the month, next month, guys, what month is it? What day is it? What year is it? It is June 22nd, 2020. So the first of the month, I'm just going to tell them, I'm sorry, Melisha, but they've already figured out that the first of the month, you're going to be getting the sleeve expansion for the Harlow pajamas. Okay. You're going to love it. It's great. It's very dramatic. And you will get a little video plus the pattern piece just for that on the first. And then we have another project planned for you. It's kind of like we did in April. We did a sleeve expansion, and that, yeah, I know, I already said it, so it's okay. Don't get mad at me, Melisha. So then later in the month, you're going to get a whole new project that you're going to love, but we're very behind on. So it's going to happen. Don't worry. It's happening. But yeah, this is the first month that I've really felt like, ooh, these months go by quickly, don't they? Yeah, it's going to be great. You're going to love it. They're going to love it. Right, Melisha? Did she leave? Is she mad? The sleeve will take about another yard of fabric. It's big. It's big sleeve. Oh, I got the mad face from Alicia. Ooh, I'm in trouble. Yeah, so it'll be good. It'll be good. And I need to do a video for that, and then Alicia and I are going to do the photo shoot. So I think we're looking at that coming out like mid-July. Okay, so just like sit tight on that. All right. Send Alicia another treat box. She needs snacks. Yeah, so did I miss any questiones about the Harlow pajamas? Anything else I can tell you? Yeah, do come hang out with me on Crowdcast tomorrow. That's at 5 at this time on Crowdcast. All patrons are eligible. You'll find the link on Patreon. Alicia's negotiating more snacks. I love it. Yeah, so yeah. Tim Tams. Tomorrow's Teresa's birthday. Happy birthday, Teresa. Hi, Gia. All right, so I think that's it. I think that's it for the Harlow segment of today. So what else do we have to discuss? Caitlin asks a question. Are you focusing more on Patreon projects now, or can we look forward to new charm patterns / updated charm patterns? There will definitely be at least one more charm pattern this year. I mean, the idea from the beginning was that they were going to both coexist, charm patterns and Patreon. This year has been a little odd, what with a global pandemic and us not working in the studio anymore. So it kind of threw a wrench in most of our plans for charm patterns, to tell you guys the truth. And we're just trying to recover from that and figure out what our goals are going to be for charm patterns for the rest of the year. We're not really business as normal at all. Like, we're both still working at home. Yeah, it's just not, it's not a normal year for us or anyone else, I think. So, and shipping is not normal right now. Yeah, it's been crazy, just the wait times that some of you had to deal with. So yeah, so I will say that it's, you know, I'm a little disappointed personally in just how this year has I'm personally disappointed, guys. Who do I speak to? How do I file a complaint? Yeah, so I have a personal complaint, which is that we haven't been able to do everything we wanted to with charm patterns this year. And my hope is that we'll be doing at least one more charm pattern this year. But I can't really make any like promises. So we have had conversations about how we're going to make sure that Patreon is still, you know, meeting all of your benefits and all of that. And part of that is that we're giving you, I think, a little bit more monthly than you anticipated this year. So I hope you'll keep that in mind when it may not be that we are releasing all the charm patterns that we initially thought this year, because there are some benefits in Patreon that tie back directly to charm patterns. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah. So what am I getting at? Oh, how does the free pattern work? Yeah, TBD. The way it would have worked in any other year is that we would have released probably at least 5 patterns for Charm Patterns, and one of them would have been the free pattern for everyone on Patreon at the $7 level or above. Right now, Charm Patterns has been halted for a couple months, so we're just kind of figuring out how that's going to work. So, yeah. I have no answers for you right now, but yeah, I think I will just come back to, I think we have sort of doubled down on what we're doing for Patreon to make sure that everyone feels like it's been beneficial to them. Cheers. Did I answer the question, or I just go into my therapy rant again? Oh, thanks, Jen. Yeah, I'd like to speak to the manager. This is definitely everyone's therapy session. All right, so next topic, my nails. I did my nails again. Oh my gosh. This isn't really a topic, but yeah, this is my other complaint about this year, is that I've been trying to figure out how to do my own nails, and I just really haven't gotten the hang of getting the acrylic on so that there is not like, so my hair doesn't like catch in the bottom here. And I took my the polish off last week, and I texted Missy. Is Missy here? I was like, are these salvageable? Do I like, can I use this set anymore? I feel like I'm just like holding on to this set and trying to like keep filling them myself. Missy's here. But I'm just very frustrated because I don't know why. I just am not getting like a clean like fill at the bottom. So every time I like put my hand through my hair or something like that, it like hair catches on the bottom of my nail. It's very frustrating. So that's my other complaint. Yeah, I'm sure that they'll go through a phase soon of opening up the nail salons, and I personally just do not want to be first in line for that. I kind of feel like I'm happy to let other people go test the waters on that, and I'll keep doing it myself, but it may be time for me to soon soak these off. I don't know. We'll see. Missy says it looks like I'm not getting them all the way up to the cuticle. Boo. First world problems. I know. Let me have my moment. I'm so dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied with my own work on my nails. Well, I was worried that I was getting them too close to the cuticle before, so I tried to like smidge it back a little bit. Just wear a bubble and go in. I can't. I'm not. I can't. So okay, so let's see. What else do we have to talk about? Knitting. I'm working on my Rizzo, guys. I'm having a really hard time with my knitting. Where are the knitters here? I'd like to lodge a complaint with knitting as well. This pattern is so hard. And I feel like I was not fully prepared for how much harder it was going to be than Jailbird. When I did the back, I'll just show you where I am. This is not a complaint with the pattern, by the way. I think Amy is a freaking genius for being able to do this in all these sizes. Okay, so all right, knitters, I have a complaint. Okay, so I joined the shoulders. Here's the front. You can see my little eyelets that I've done. Only cried a little bit. I'm just kidding. So Yeah, it has this, so it's seed stitch here, and then it has the eyelets here. It's kind of like that top that Marilyn Monroe wore in the lavender one that she wore in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, with like the eyelet kind of thing that goes down here in a V. And it's super cute. I'm very excited about it. But okay, so the back was easy. It was just like working Jailbird, like with the shoulder shaping, which was not easy when I did it on Jailbird, which is great because it shows that I'm progressing. But then I did the front, and you have to do all the short row shaping and the increasing and decreasing and shaping and all of that in seed stitch while also working in the eyelets. So I tore each of these sides out multiple times. You do it in like quadrants, basically. Like you do the back right shoulder, back left shoulder, join them together. Then you like do the front right shoulder, then the front left, and join those together. And that's why I have this like little rectangle with a head hole. So I just really struggled with getting the short rows to look right in the seed stitch, and I kept pulling it out. And I'm happy with how it looks now, but true to form, true to Gertie's knitting, I never have the right amount of stitches. Guys, I fudge every knitting project that I work on because I'm like, I'm one stitch short, so I'll just like add it in elsewhere. And I like have figured it out. I mean, you guys helped me on Jailbird, and I did it on Boardwalk too, to be honest. So I don't know why I don't drop stitches. I don't know what happens. I never have the right amount of stitches. And on any other pattern, I wouldn't be too concerned. But on this one, I'm really worried that I have the right amount of stitches now, and I've adjusted it. I've adjusted it so that I have the same amount of stockinette on either side of the eyelets. But how do I know if I have the right number of seed stitches between the eyelets? Because what if I get to center front at the V and it's like there's some weird gap there or something? I'm an adorable disaster. Yeah, so that's my concern. I mean, I don't know how many stitches there are supposed to be in the seed stitch. I'm sure I could figure it out. And I also, you know, I did, Amy's a friend of mine, you guys know that. So I try not to like abuse her help, but I only text her if I really need help. So I did ask her a question about the eyelets and how to make them. And then I just felt like I got so deep into this problem with the stitches that I couldn't even explain what my problem was. One stitch is fine when the stitches are small. If I'm very concerned, I count every few rows to make sure. As long as it's an odd number, it should work right. Thanks, Erica. Lottie says, I've been knitting for years and still have to have markers all over each piece to mark each section and write out each row. Maybe you should have a Zoom knitting circle. That would be fun. Kate says, I think it will be even if the stockinette stitches are the same. Okay. Because up to like 2 rows ago, they weren't. And I just like added one, and then I took one away in the middle. Just because I felt like that was the right thing to do. Yeah, yarn over is weird. Yarn over is very weird because I was like, oh, I'm going to take the yarn over. And then I read instructions online and they were like, no, it's like actually like a yarn under. Thanks, knitting. I also got the Vogue knitting book, which I'm really excited about. It's this huge book. It is huge. It is like a wealth of information about every knit stitch you could ever possibly need to know. It wasn't that expensive. It's huge. It is a huge book. I cannot stress this enough, with all sorts of photos and illustrations. And yeah, as someone who's written crafting books before, I just looked at this thing and was like, they should charge like $1,000 for this. Like whoever wrote this, it did not get paid enough. There's 2 seed stitches between the 2 eyelets. Okay. All right. Hi, Carolyn. Hello, hello. You could place a stitch marker every 10 stitches so it's easy to count how many there are and keep track of where it might have gone wrong. It's a good idea. It's called the Vogue knitting book. All you sewers may know that there is also a Vogue sewing book, so it's like the equivalent of that for knitting. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. We'll see. I'm going to keep going, but it was not a relaxing weekend in terms of my knitting project. Because normally knitting is my like, just like, it's like my craft that's not work craft related. So it's like, sit on the couch, relax. But I was just like freaking out through the whole thing. So yeah, we'll see. I feel like now that I understand, now that the two sides are joined and I know it's even on either side. It'll be fine. So the yarn is Beehive Yarns. The yarn is called Dusty. It's like a mix of wool and there's a little bit of cashmere, something else in there. And this color is called Atomic. It's like a really beautiful, very bright turquoise, aqua turquoise. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this project. I'm excited about having it done. I'll say that. And then I think I'm going to move on to beauty school next because I really need to work on something that doesn't have like a stitch pattern like this. I can't, guys. I can't. Trisha says she got the Vogue knitting book after Amy suggested it. Yeah, that's me too. I actually I spent a little time on the Ravelry Poison Girls knitting group on Ravelry. So Ravelry has groups, and then there's like, it's like a little message board type forum kind of thing. So you can go and read, questions that people have asked for every design that Amy's done. So I was reading through that, and she suggested the Vogue knitting book as an alternative to, Googling and YouTube and all that. Okay. Oh my gosh, Kate, you have no idea. Once I get to that stockinette stitch, I'll be so happy. I'll be so happy. Okay. Do you guys want to talk about Drag Race, or is there anything else you want to talk about before we move to Drag Race? I don't think Colin's here. Is Colin here? How are we talking about Drag Race without Colin? How's the camper? It's good. So it's actually outside my window right now. I'm looking at it right now. So as you guys may or may not know, I recently bought a vintage camper trailer, a 1963 Shasta. And it's been this fun, like really high learning curve of all this new information. Risa's here. She has been helping me with this because she has an amazing, adorable, what year is yours? 1958 Shasta. So she's been my mentor on this. It's not turned around. So I've accomplished, okay, so there's so much to do, which is great because I'm gonna be home all summer. There's so much to, oh, Colin is here. Okay, good, Colin, we can't talk about Drag Race without you. There's so much to do with this camper that I really just have a list going now, and I'm just gonna plug away over the entire summer. So here's what I've done. I've gotten the registration transferred to my name, which was huge. I was so worried about that. I got a license plate, which is great. I have started to think about my vanity plate because I've decided it can't just be a boring license plate number. So I've been searching the vanity plate names that are available and researching that. So that's very important, obviously. I have talked to 2 RV mechanics to take it in and try to get someone to look at it. TBD. I have ordered a dolly to turn it around in the driveway so that it will be facing the yard. I have ordered lots of swatches. Oh, I ordered my laminate for the countertop. Sparkle lamb. So I ordered my sparkle lamb, which is this pink with gold flecks laminate for the countertops and the dinette table. I have ordered so many swatches of fabric for upholstery and curtains and stuff like that. I really like this sort of light pink gingham. I think looks really pretty. This is an upholstery weight gingham. Will look really nice on the cushions, but I'm also, as you guys know, I kind of want to stick with historically accurate tweed or true to the original tweed. So I did find this like textured pink, and I have a lot more tweeds on order, samples. I also found a more saturated gingham. Yeah, those are kind of my favorites that I've found. And I'm also thinking about curtains. I think I might want like a fun print for the curtains. I found a cute little like pink cowgirl print on Spoonflower that I'm really liking. I'm a little worried about Spoonflower because I know it does have a reputation for fading. And I know they're going to be in the sun. Risa, you've warned me about that. So I might order a sample of the Spoonflower as well. I don't really go for like super novelty fabrics a lot, as you guys know, but I kind of feel like this might be the occasion to do it. So looking at that, okay, where did I get my laminate? It's a company called Make It Mid-Century, and they make this like reproduction laminate called Sparkle Lamb, and it comes in a bunch of different colors: gold flecks, silver flecks, gold and silver flecks. So that's exciting. I need gingham curtains. Yeah, if I don't do gingham upholstery, I'll do gingham curtains. And then the other thing is, I think the exciting thing is I think I'm going to take it out camping pretty soon as like a first trial run without doing anything to it, like pre-renovation nearby camping trip. So, you know, within an hour driving distance just to practice setting it up and sleeping in it and all of that. So, and I think that will give me a better idea of things I want to do to it. Because as of now, it's been in my driveway. I haven't spent a ton of time in it. So I think that will be really good. Use a backing lightweight blackout to help protect the curtains. Cowgirl pillows. That would be cute. To Alive on the road. Yeah. So yeah, that's the project. That's a project. There's a lot to do. And I'm just going to keep kind of chipping away at it. So looking into getting a carport for my driveway. All this, who knew I would be doing all of this summer? So sort of like a shelter for it, and then it's going to face the backyard, and then in the process of building a patio in the backyard so that the camper is going to be like part of the backyard as well, with a little patio and awning and chairs and all of that. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So who will look after my animals if I go away? Well, Hattie will come camping, and I have a local cat sitter who can come watch Henry, but I won't be on the road for that long for any of these trips. They're going to be shorter trips. My mom is now on her first RV trip, and she's actually going to be gone for a couple of weeks because she's going to visit my brother in Houston. So all of this kind of came about, if you haven't been following along. is that my mom bought an RV, and she is traveling from Arizona to Houston because obviously no one's flying right now. So yeah, Henry's not going to be interested in this. So so my mom's on her first trip, so I'm excited for her. So she's been keeping us updated. She's somewhere in Texas right now. Hattie's like a little, I took her in there once and she was like, what is this? So I think she'll love it. She'll love it once we get on the road, and like I think sleeping in there she'll really like, and it'll be fun. Yeah. So it's gonna be really fun. I'll keep you guys updated, and of course, you know, I'll do a live from the camper once I can get it like turned around and take you on a little tour. It's really cool. I mean, I love how true to the original it is. I mean, it is the original, aside from like the siding, you know, the panels have been replaced, but it really feels like all the upholstery is original, the appliances are original. I love just how like step back in time it feels. So anything I do in there obviously will be aesthetic, making it pink, but also, you know, I don't want to like go crazy. I'm not going to like be making any major design changes. I really want it to feel like 1963 in there. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun to show it to you guys. All right, everyone. So should we move on to Drag Race? Last topic of the day. So, okay. I'm just going to say, if you're not a Drag Race fan, feel free to leave now. If you haven't watched this episode and you don't want to be spoiled, also feel free to leave. We will miss you. But yeah, we're going to just discuss pretty quickly, I guess, Drag Race and what happened on last week's episode of All Stars 5. So let's see. The challenge was design a hotel room. It was very similar to the Club 96, the design your own club challenge. But this one was kind of weird because they were designing like one hotel room. So Mayhem and Blair just did Club 96. I know. I know. It was one of those challenges where I was like, this is terrible. Like, I don't know. I really wasn't that into it, and no one really did a great job with it. I mean, I don't think so. I thought all the results were pretty lame, and I was very excited to see Cracker and her group doing a Golden Girls themed room. But then it was not funny because it was sort of like, it was a weird challenge in that it was a mix of design and improv, right? And acting almost too. And also interacting with like Michelle and Ross and that other dude. I'm sorry, I don't know who he is. So I don't know. It was weird. It was very weird. We got to have a little fun watching them try to paint the walls, and that's always fun watching drag queens, you know, try to do renovations. Yeah, but I wasn't like in love with any of the results. And I mean, really, the shocker of the episode was that Shay could have gone home. And when I realized that, I mean, I was working on my sweater, so I was like a little distracted. But when I realized that she could go home, it was very terrifying. It was like Manila all over. I was like, I mean, it's now a verb, right? She was going to get Manilaed. That was the worry. So very scary. She could have easily gone home. The lip sync assassin part was my favorite as usual, and Monet Exchange. And you know, it's funny, I realized I wouldn't have even put Monet, like she wouldn't be one of the queens at the top of my head to be a lip sync assassin. But she totally is. And I was so glad that they brought her back on, and you know, just watching her, I think what's so great about her style of lip syncing is that she really like does not have to break a sweat to be an assassin. Like because it's all through comedy and her sort of like nonchalance. And I loved it. I loved it. She was lip syncing. Oh my God, who was she lip syncing? Okay, Jujubee. Good Lord. She was lip syncing against Jujubee, and Jujubee is also kind of a lip sync assassin, but I don't know what's going on with these lip syncs, if it's just the editing or like it's really like that one is really outweighing the other opponent in terms of energy the last 2 weeks. But again, I felt like, I mean, Jujubee didn't even really appear to be trying, kind of like Alyssa last week. And it's just so odd for both of those two queens. So I can only assume that, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think there's some sort of like editing going on here to make it clear that one was the clear winner, and so they're not really showing the strengths of the other? Or what is happening? What is happening? So very scary. Shay easily could have gone home. And I think this kind of brings me back to the things I don't like about All Stars, which is that a queen can be performing at the top of her game and go home anyway. I'm getting a little bored of these challenges because they're so bad. And I would be happy to just watch like a talent show every week. Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely don't do that. Yeah, they were talking about that. Do you guys listen to this Drag Race podcast, the Drag Race recap show with Joe Batance or whatever. I think that's his name. Anyway, they were talking about that, how like there's no way, like, yeah, they basically have the queens go in and just like roll some paint on the walls and like make jokes about how hard it is to paint, and then the work was clearly done by a professional. And he made the point on the podcast, like, if they weren't doing the actual painting and they clearly weren't writing jokes, like, what were they doing? Which I thought was pretty funny. Because, yeah, where were the jokes? Where were the jokes? So, yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say. What do you guys think? Have anything to say? Oh, what was the runway? 3 looks in 1? That was pretty fun. Oh, Mariah went home. I'm sad for her. It did seem like not a controversial choice, though, in the end. I feel like maybe they didn't do all the painting themselves. All right, so that's all I have to say. Alexis has been getting a lot of hate. Yeah, I heard something about that she's really been attacked online, which no good. You were disappointed in Juju's runway. You know, I'm a bunny expert, and hers was basic. It was basic. She looked gorgeous, though. She looked gorgeous. Oh, I love the sobriety talk backstage. I loved that. That was touching. Was that in Untucked? Blair and Jujubee are both sober, and then clean and sober, and then Mayhem said that she's been clean from drugs for quite a while, but that she feels like she has a problem with alcohol. And that's one thing I love about this show, is that, I mean, all of these queens, you know, are performing in clubs, in bars, and it's a career with a lot of booze and drugs around. And I legitimately cried at that moment, because it was very sweet to see them, and powerful too, to see them really talk about that in a very real way, and kind of support each other. So I love that. I loved it. Yeah. So Another great episode. I mean, I feel like the best thing about this season is this lip sync assassin twist. I love it. I love it. It is so exciting every week to see who is going to come out from that little scrim. So it's just very exciting, and I feel like every single week we have gotten a killer lip sync. So, you know, and you know, I felt in season 12 that the lip syncs were a little lame. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I love that these queens are being very honest about sobriety and like the challenges in making it work as a drag queen, because I mean, the best thing that can come out of these conversations is that it's more accepted to be sober and maybe have drag in sober spaces. I mean, that would be the ultimate goal, right? So, yeah, I just was really very touched by that. And it was great to see them talking about it. Lip Sync Assassin, more fun than the challenges so far. Totally agree, but I feel like that's kind of my complaint about this show in general. Like I love the runways. I like the backstage, like workroom moments. I generally like the lip syncs. Not really a fan of the challenges that much anymore. Like the acting challenges are terrible, improv challenges are terrible. Like these design challenges aren't that great. Like, ugh. Yeah, I feel like something's got to happen with the writing or the something to shake it up a little bit. All right, everyone. So that's all from me. Oh, still love Snatch Game. All right, fair enough. I like Snatch Game too. And I love a ball challenge. I generally like the musicals. Generally, not all of them. Favorite musical ever? Bitch Perfect. I was just thinking about that the other day. That you can't top that. You can't top that. Okay, thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for joining me. So the rest of the week, I will not be here on YouTube, but I will be doing 2 more live events. One will be on Crowdcast tomorrow at 5 p.m. So they're all at the same time, this 5 p.m. Eastern time. So tomorrow is Crowdcast. You can join me there. It'll be an hour-long webinar, more structured Q&A and presentation kind of thing with PowerPoint. And then on Thursday, I will be on Zoom for a Patreon sewing circle. So that's for the $7 tier and above. So come join us for that. That's going to be really fun. And yeah, so I won't be here on YouTube for the rest of the week, but I will be back next week. All right. So I love that you guys get so excited about PowerPoints. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.